All right, so I wanted to go over page 46 because I wanted to show you, or I wanted to just kind of really solidify what a good comparative SOX, how a good comparative SOX is written. So I have 2 pages of data because this first page is me just analyzing the information, and then I wrote the comparative SOX in sentences on the next page. So let's see, what I did first was I kind of did the 5-number summary for each of these things, and I found if they're outliers. You certainly did not have to draw those box plots at the bottom, and so on. So here is me doing a comparative SOX. So a couple things I want you to keep in mind when you do a comparative SOX. Make sure that you use comparative language. Okay, make sure that you bring in context as much as you can. This is a problem about cruises and the ages of the people on the cruise. Okay, and then finally, be specific. Put in specific numbers of the values. Be specific with your number values. Okay, so let's see how I did that. Now, you know how I said compare it with your SOX? You're not supposed to do a SOX for A, a SOX for B, and a SOX for C. You should do one big SOX, and in each one of the things, you compare. So, for example, here's my first part. Shape. What was the shape of A? Shape A was what? It was skewed right. So, here's what I said on this one. The shapes of each distributions are different. So, I connected them together. Their 3 shapes are different. Cruise A is skewed right. Cruise B is more symmetric. And cruise C is skewed left. Okay? So I was specific about their shape, but I also connected them to each other by saying that they are different from each other. Okay, so that was shapes. Outliers. Okay, how did I do the outliers? How did I decide what the outliers were, or if there were any? I made fences. So I did actual computing to come up with fences to see if there were outliers or not. Okay, so I computed the fences, and I found that A, here's distribution A, had at least one upper outlier. B has lower and upper, and C has at least one lower. Okay, so here's how I wrote that up. Outliers. I first connected them together. I said, outliers are present in all 3 distributions. Okay? While cruise B has at least 2 outliers. How do I know it has at least 2? Why am I saying at least 2 and not just at least 1? Because there's at least one upper and at least one lower for a grand total of at least 2. All right. While cruise B has at least 2 outliers, cruise A has at least one upper above 45.5, and cruise C has at least one lower below 33.5. So, here's things I did in that. I compared them all. I said that they are present in all 3 of them. I connected it together. Then I told what each of them had, and I was specific about their numerical values. Okay? Center. Okay, guys? Center was most interesting on this. This is about cruises. And so, hey, look up here at the data I collected. This was really interesting. Look at the center. Cruise A has a median of 18. Cruise B had a median of 40. And Cruise C had a median of 61. So, you know, think about it. Cruise A could be something like a Disney cruise. Okay? You got lots of young ones as well as the olders. B could be just like a regular old, probably happening in the summertime, just has lots of different people. But how about, why would you have a median of 61? Yeah, I agree. If it either caters specifically to the retired community, or it's happening like right now when other people are when younger people are working and in school. So the people that have time to go on that cruise are the retired ones, right? So that's what I wrote about this in terms of these centers are quite different for all three distributions. Cruise A appears to be the youngest cruise with a median of 18. Cruise B's median age is higher than Cruise A with a value of 40, with an age of 40. And finally, Cruise C's median age is the oldest, that's comparative language, oldest of the three cruises with a median age of 61. So look at what I have done on that problem. I have connected the three things together with comparative language. I have using like the oldest and the youngest and higher than. I have put context in there because I talked about cruises and their ages. And I have been specific, listing their medians at 18, 40, and 61. So you want to try and include those three things. And finally, their spreads. When I looked at look at the spreads here. What kind of spread would I be referencing? IQR of 13, IQR of 14, and IQR of 13. So my final statement was that the spreads of the three cruises are about the same with IQRs of 13, 14, and 13 respectively. Okay? All right. Yes, ma'am.
So that even though one of the browsers
Did I do what?
because